All right, good evening all. I would like to call the Town of Rocky Hill Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, the regular meeting of Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 to order. I want to make sure Commissioner Robbins has joined us. Can we?
Wake up back there. Come on.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Doing it, doing it.
Can you say signed in yet?
We have one commissioner coming in on Zoom, so we have to wait for him to join.
He always shows up 5 minutes late anyway. He's always 5 minutes
Yeah,
late
yeah.
anyway.
He did acknowledge that he received the link today in an email to me, so
Okay.
Well,
unless he's not feeling well, I don't know, so.
you might want to start. He may be
wanna-
having problems getting on, so.
But I don't want to go back and forth, like put up and then, he'll be an alternate.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, well,
Just,
Let me give him a minute and then pick your,
because he should be here by now.
yeah.
It's on, so.
You want to go and
yeah, I think we should.
us five,
All right.
we'll do the first one. And
Yeah.
then
Yep.
if he comes,
All right, so we will start the meeting. Hopefully Commissioner Robbins will join us. If not, the sitting 5 commissioners here are, will be seated
for the first one.
for the first one, and then when if Commissioner Robbins shows up on the second, then we'll switch.
Okay.
So is that good, Kim? Staff?
Okay, so Dimple,
Okay.
Victor, Stephen, Ellen, and Sean.
Correct. A. Ready?
Go ahead, yep.
Special permit application, site plan modification under section 8A14 zoning regulations, 3228 Main Street LLC. Joanne Rockamora, member, proposing to add 2 fenced-in areas, continue a non-conforming retail use, add a pet grooming and pet therapy use for property located at 3228 Main Street in an R20 residential zoning district ID 17-163.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Gaetan Rockamora, and I live at 86 Fox Hill Drive in Rocky Hill. I'm here with Dr. Sweeta Gary, who would like to open up her canine rehab center here in Rocky Hill. Dr. Sweeta Gary is a certified canine rehabilitation practitioner, CCRP, who earned her degree from the University of Tennessee. She also holds a doctorate in physical therapy from Loma Linda University. Dr. Gary will be performing laser therapy, strengthening exercises, weight-bearing exercises, pet massage, pet spa, balance exercise, passive range of motion exercises for pets, as well as she's going to have a pet boutique selling pet accessories, leashes, collars, shampoos, conditioners, preventative items such as flea and tick collars and ointments. There is an existing walk-in cooler previously used by the Root system for perishables. Dr. Gary will be using that to store her perishables. She also has, she wants to do a bakery for pet treats, and she wants to sell organic dog foods and things that need to be refrigerated. The proposed use will not change the way customers enter and exit the property. The proposed use will not alter the exterior of the existing buildings. Dr. Gary will keep the same sign presently permitted on site in the same location. We will add a handicap parking spot as shown on the plot plan, and we will also designate specified parking spots which presently don't exist. we would like to install the chain link fences that are proposed on the plot plan as well. As far as the criteria needed to meet for a special app, I'll go down the list. The location and size of the site and nature and intensity of the operations involved in or conducted in connection with the use and the location of the site with respect to streets giving access to it are such that the use shall be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development in the district in which it is located and shall promote the welfare of the town. So the streets, the location of the site is existing. The streets, it's on a main street, which is a state road. The previous commercial use was there for a long time. I'd be lying if I told you exactly. I don't know, but certainly 40 plus years. So it's always served the location and there's never been an issue. The proposed use shall be of such location, size, and character that in general it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the district in which it is proposed to be situated. Shall not tend to depreciate the value of property in the neighborhood and shall not be detrimental to the orderly development of such properties in accordance with the zoning classifications of such properties. So our stuff is all existing, so we're not going to, it's not going to take away from, what we're building is not, we're not building anything. So the site's been there and the buildings have been there. The design elements of the proposed development will be attractive. Again, the buildings are all existing, the site is existing, and we're not proposing to do anything new other than the fences. The location, nature, and height of the buildings, walls, and fences, planned activities, and nature of the landscaping on the site will be of such that the use shall not hinder or discourage the appropriate development and use of adjacent land. Again, the landscaping is there, and the fence that we're going to do is going to be a standard 6-foot fence, which is going to conform with your regulations. The proposed use or activity shall have no adverse effect upon the neighboring area resulting from the use of signs, exposed artificial lights, colored lights of any nature, flashing lights, loudspeakers, or so we're not putting any outside speakers in, we're not adding any lights. Everything that is presently there is going to remain as is, the way it's always been. In cases where it is proposed to convert a structure designed and built originally for other uses, the structure is adequate to the proposed use from the point of view of the public health and safety. So the buildings are there, they're existing, and there's no concern with the public health or safety with the buildings that are presently existing. The design, location, and specific details of the proposed use or activity shall not adversely affect safety in the streets, nor increase traffic congestion in the area, nor interfere with pattern of vehicular circulation in such a manner to create or augment unsafe traffic conditions. So again, Main Street, State Road, it's what's servicing this site, and we're not changing it. It remains, and it's never been an issue in the past. Parking area or areas will be of adequate size for the particular use and shall be suitable, screened from adjoining residential uses, and entrance and exit drives will be laid out so to prevent traffic hazards and nuisances. So again, we're using the existing means of entrance and exit. It's what's been used for years, and we're not proposing to change any of that. Streets and other right-of-ways will be of such size, condition, and capacity in terms of width, grade, and alignment, and visibility to adequately accommodate the traffic to the site. So we're not changing anything. The main street is plenty large enough for vehicles to come in and out, and we're not going to add traffic to it. The provisions for water supply, sewage disposal, and stormwater drainage conform to accepted engineering practices. So again, we're not developing the site with buildings or anything. It's currently serviced with public water and public sewer. We don't plan on changing any of that. The proposed use or activity shall provide easy accessibility for the apparatus of police protection and is laid out and equipped to further the provision of emergency vehicles. So fire trucks have full access to the building, police have full access, ambulance has full access to the building right off of Main Street. Appropriate conservation shall be given to the protection, preservation, and the enhancement of natural resources and unique resources, including where appropriate, the use of conservation restrictions to protect and permanently preserve such resources. So way down in the back of the property is a little brook. The town has a little bridge that crosses it. There's a conservation area depicted. We're not going anywhere near that, and we're staying totally away from it. And we're not changing anything back there. Appropriate consideration shall be given to the protection, preservation, or enhancement of historic and archaeologic resources. There are no historic or archaeologic resources that we had to take into consideration. Appropriate consideration will be given to the protection, preservation, and enhancement of scenic resources, including where appropriate the use of conservation. Did I reread that one? Permanently resources and features. So we're not doing anything with conservation or any of that. Again, everything's existing. Adequate provision has been made for the sustained maintenance of the proposed development, structures, streets, and improvements. So we're obviously going to plow the place, we're going to mow the lawn, we're going to take care of the landscaping outside. We will, we have provisions in place to take care of the site and keep it looking good. Consistency with overall objectives, the proposed use or activity does not conflict with the purposes of the regulations as amended. I don't know how to answer that. But the proposed use or activity does not conflict with the purposes of the regulations. I think it's a nice neighborhood use. I don't feel that it conflicts. The proposed use or activity does not conflict with achievement of the goals, objectives, policies, recommendations of the conservation and development as amended. They do not. The proposed use or activity adequately addresses the health, safety, and welfare of the public in general and the immediate neighborhood in particular. So we're going to keep the place clean, neat, and again, we're not changing any of the structures or their appearance or any of that. And that concludes my presentation. I'm here with Dr. Sweta Gary as well, and we'll answer any questions you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Unless you, doctor, you have anything to add?
No, thank you. It's my pleasure to
Your name,
present this.
just-
My name is Sweta, Dr. Sweta, and I'm at 18 Pebblebrook Drive in Rocky Hill. As of last year, I moved to Rocky Hill, and I'm a resident of Rocky Hill. I already have my existing business in Glastonbury, but being a resident here, I feel that the town needs something like what I have and what I am proposing. And there's never enough of services or places that accommodate, pets and pet therapy and something very niche and new in this kind of town or in this kind of setting. So I feel my business would be an asset, and I hope you all consider adding my business to the town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone who would like to address to the commission on this particular topic, on this particular application?
From the public.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. First of all, I thought we'd hear a little more about the use of the existing buildings, like the greenhouse. We're going to put dogs in there? Or
Can you please say your name?
Sandy, I'm sorry, Sandy Kelly, 25 Tollgate Road. I haven't done this in a while. All right, well, I'm going to speak to this permit, not knowing entirely what is involved in the structure and in the facility. First of all, I am a dog person. I've had dogs all my whole life. As a matter of fact, my husband had a canine when he was on the Rock Hill Police Department. So I am not anti-dog. I am, however, concerned about this permit, especially since we don't know still a lot about the structure. It's a special permit exemption in a retail zone. Now, as Mr. Rockamora and the doctor said, it's rehab, it's grooming, it's exercise, it's muscle work. Yes, there's a component of retail, but this is being presented as a physical therapy, type of business. To me, it would be like calling a veterinarian's establishment retail because they sell some medications and food, and really it's a service business. And I see this as a service. And we're going with an exemption already in a retail, so it should be a fairly tight reading of the parameters here. I'm going to read some of the points that Mr. Rockamora quoted as well about the special permit criteria. Under A, suitable location for use. The proposed use shall be of such location, size, and character that in general it will be in harmony with the appearance and orderly development of the district in which it is proposed to be situated, and shall not tend to depreciate the value of property in the neighborhood, et cetera. Now, we've heard that there are going to be 2 runs constructed. We don't know what they're for. Obviously, they're going to be for dogs, probably waiting to be picked up, waiting to be groomed. Dogs are dogs. Dogs communicate. Dogs bark. And this is a potential issue. This is in a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood. We've all had barking dogs near us, and it's challenging. Under B, appropriate improvements, paragraph 2, the location, nature, and height of buildings, walls, and fences, planned activities, and the nature and extent of landscaping will be such that the use shall not hinder or discourage appropriate development, et cetera, or impair the value of adjacent land. I think this would impair the value of neighboring properties if someone were trying to sell and somebody came to look and there were 2 fences and, runs with dogs in it. Number 3, under B, appropriate improvements, the proposed use or activity shall have no adverse effect upon the neighboring area resulting from signs, artificial light, or noise-making devices. Now, you may consider this a stretch, but dogs are noise-making devices. That's what they do. This is a concern. And G, under the special permit criteria, the proposed use or activity does not conflict with purposes of the regulations as amended. Well, it does conflict because it's really not a retail business. It's a service business. 3, number 3, under consistency, the proposed use or activity adequately addresses the health, safety, and welfare of the public in general and the immediate neighborhood in particular. That's the hook right there, the welfare of the immediate neighborhood. And you could define welfare as the quality of life. And again, we don't know anything about how these structures are going to be used. I feel we're kind of putting the cart before the horse because we don't have all our information yet. I trust you all will give us, will get information tonight. So, and I'm going to turn, and thank you for giving me this much time, I'm going to turn to the town ordinance on the regulation of dogs, which addresses excessive barking or other disturbances caused by dogs. There is a statute, a regulation in the town. The first offense is, they're spoken to, they're issued a warning. The second offense can be a Class D misdemeanor, a fine. All right, so the Rock Hill Police Department responds when there's a problem with barking dogs. Given our town, a barking dog complaint is not going to take precedence over a motor vehicle accident or a break-in or some other issue going on with the force we have, which I'm not saying it's too limited, I'm just saying every force is limited. So it's going to be very hard to enforce these regulations. The regulations are well-written, and they're for the benefit of the citizens. But until we know what these runs are for and how many, they're going to have dogs in them. And this is a residential neighborhood. That's a commercial dog business, and I see them as conflicts. And I hope all of you will, take this and weigh all the facts that you use in your ordinances and in your regulations and follow the parameters of the special permit regulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Melissa Cheney. I live at 448 Pleasant Valley Road, which is on the same street that this is around the corner from this proposed business. I'll just read the letter and I'll give you the letter afterwards. This is on behalf of myself and my husband, Alex. We are writing to express our concerns with the proposed pet grooming and pet therapy area at 328 Main Street. This area previously housed a florist and garden center, which included a greenhouse. It is also next to a busy automotive garage. Our concerns first begin with the safety of the pets. We are worried about the use of pesticides, herbicides, and other chemicals by a garden center. Additionally, the location next to the garage could put the animals in contact with automotive runoff, including oil, antifreeze, heavy metals, and other hazardous substances. We urge that no approval or further planning for a pet grooming or therapy facility on this property be allowed until comprehensive testing is conducted by certified environmental consultants to confirm that the land is safe for animal use. This means there should be no harmful residues in the soil. In addition to the safety of the pet, we would like to express our concerns with the nature of the proposed business directly next to a residential area. It appears that there will be multiple animals for therapy training or grooming in fenced-in areas, presumably during business hours. We all know that dogs like to bark. I regularly take my dog to the groomer, and the noise created by just a few dogs can be overwhelming. The location at the top of the hill by Pleasant Valley Road means that the sound of these dogs will be heard throughout the street on a daily basis. Has the noise factor even been considered? We thank you for your attention to this matter. We want to keep our pets safe, and we want to keep the neighborhood environment pleasant and peaceful for our families. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address to the commission on this application? Yep.
Walter Coughlin, 468 Pleasant Valley Road. I think Ms. Kelly summarized everything very well. I'm totally in agreement with what she said. I want to emphasize the part about not depreciating adjacent properties. My property is approximately 100 feet from this parcel. If I were looking to buy a home and I saw this business with dogs, there is no way I would buy this house. You can say that you can control the noise that dogs make. The neighborhood is full of dogs. When they start barking, the owners come out, they quiet the dogs. When this is a business with numerous dogs, that's not going to happen. As far as police enforcement, one need only look at the dirt bikes that we also have to contend with. The police are very cooperative. We call them. They come out. They chase them away. An hour later, they come back. The police can't spend all their time supervising this sort of thing. If one calls them and says the dogs are barking, I imagine they'll eventually come out and take care of it. And then it'll start again when they leave. This is just not an appropriate business for a residential area.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address the commission? Again, anyone else who would like to address to the commission on this application?
I do have we have one letter.
Yep. Seeing none, I will, staff, we have a letter.
I did receive an email on August 17th, 7:14 a.m. by Ed Meslin, M-E-S-L-I-N, 65 Tollgate Road. To Planning and Zoning Commission, Rocky Hill. Dear committee members, I am writing to formally lodge my objection to the proposed development and operation of a dog grooming facility and pet run at 3228 Main Street, Rocky Hill. While I support responsible pet care businesses, I strongly believe this type of commercial activity is not appropriate in a residential area for the following reasons. 1, noise and disturbance. The presence of multiple dogs at any given time is likely to result in persistent barking and noise, which will severely impact the peace and quiet enjoyment of our homes. This is especially concerning during early mornings or evenings when residents expect a quiet environment. 2, traffic and parking concerns. A commercial pet grooming service will attract increased traffic to our neighborhood, including drop-offs and pickups. This could cause congestion on streets designed for residential traffic and raise safety risks, especially for children and elderly residents. 3, sanitation and odors. Improper handling of pet waste or grooming byproducts such as hair, shampoos, and animal waste could result in unpleasant odors and potential health hazards. This is not suitable for a residential setting and may attract pests. 4, property value and character of the neighborhood. Introducing a business of this nature alters the residential character of the neighborhood. It may lead to a decline in property values and set a precedent for future commercial activity in what is meant to be a quiet, family-friendly environment. 5, zoning regulations and precedents. The area is currently zoned for residential use, and permitting this type of business could undermine local planning regulations and open the door for further non-residential developments. For these reasons, I respectively urge the planning authority to deny the application for this dog grooming and pet run operation. I, along with other concerned residents, value the integrity, safety, and tranquility of our neighborhood and wish to see it maintained.
All right, thank you, Kim. I'm going to open up questions for the commissions. Members, Commissioner Zarelli.
I have a couple of questions about the site plan, and I was wondering if in back if we could put that up on the screen while I ask the questions for the public. The first question about the site plan is that you indicated that this was a nursery or a flower business before, long-standing. On the site plan, you show a lot of existing landscape stock areas, planting areas, greenhouses. I was wondering if you could take us through what's going to happen to all those areas. Are they just going to be abandoned? Are you going to grow stuff in them? Are they just going to be weeds? Are you going to intend to clean up the landscaping and plant plants? That kind of thing. So I was wondering if I could get some clarity on the greenhouses and all the plantings and stuff like that on the property.
Just so you know, there is no electronic version of this.
Okay.
So, and also the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut, I guess, after
Yeah.
your questions.
Yep.
Okay.
He's going to rebut
Oh,
now.
yeah, if we can.
Did you guys pick up plot plan stuff I had on the counter here?
No, I saw it online. I didn't see it.
They're gone. You sure you pick it up when you picked up your papers?
I only was given an agenda.
No,
I got the agenda, but.
no, the plot plan that was here.
Oh, did I accidentally pick it up? Yes, I did.
Oh,
Me?
get out.
I said, okay. Little disappearing act. Me?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
So, In my presentation, I stated, and Sandy, just to answer your concerns, the development, the property is there and it's developed. We're not changing anything.
You have
As
to
far
talk to
You
us.
can address the
Yeah, talk to
commissioner.
us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The rebuttal, I guess, the rebuttal, these are questions by the commission.
Okay.
After which time,
Oh, okay.
any issues raised by the public, you can address in your rebuttal.
Okay. So the landscaped areas, we're going to clean them up. We're going to make them, make them look nice. There's a little koi pond in the front. We'll be, weeding that out, cleaning that up, making it look good. In the back, pretty much the area that is grass and there was some raised beds back there, some wood, rectangular, and so we're going to be getting rid of those. And we'll put some topsoil. I have a large pile of topsoil back there. I'll spread the topsoil out. We'll plant some grass. And then, what other area, Commissioner?
Just curious, my first question is just about, there's a lot of stuff on the site plan that pertains to the old business. I just wanted to know how you were dealing with it for the new business, especially the greenhouse, and that came up from the public also.
Right.
How are
So-
you going to handle the greenhouse? What are you going to do with the greenhouse?
Stay there. We're not going to do anything with it. It's not going to get used. Am I correct, the green?
Can I?
This is Dr. Gary.
Yeah, so the greenhouse there's not going to be any particular activity happening there, but it's all going to be cleaned out because there's remnants of the previous business, like planter boxes and stuff, all moved. And, for the dogs to go in and out, I'm going to have like a little gated area also so that, and they're animals, no animal's going to stay in one place, so I'm going to make sure it's used wisely. And also in regards to the few other concerns, if I can address that now, or
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. So as far as noise kept coming up every time. So the thing with it, yes, they are dogs. They will make noise, no doubt. And you all are dog people, and both the ladies that mentioned also have dogs. So I agree with that. But my business is very exclusive. Even in Glastonbury, the one I have, it's more one-on-one what I do in Glastonbury. So even grooming, I do one dog at a time. But here, yes, I'm not going to be doing one dog at a time, but I'm going to be limiting it. Even though the area is pretty big, my limit of the dogs is not going to be anything more than 12 to 15. And that is also in intervals. Like dogs are going to be in and out. It's not, and because of the nature of business, and I have always been in this field, if you don't keep the dogs occupied, they are going to bark. I mean, even if in your own house, like I have a beagle who howls and it echoes, and I'm in Glastonbury, and all the dogs, like all the houses along the streets have dogs. But if you know how to keep them engaged and give them things that they're occupied with, they're not going to be making noise. That's why my daycare or grooming or whatever you may call it isn't 70, 80 dogs like many places have. It's very exclusive. And that's the reason I started with Glastonbury and now wanting to do this in Rocky Hill, because I don't want it to be like any other dog grooming place or dog therapy place. It's very exclusive, and that's what will set my business apart from other businesses. As far as it being residential, yes, it is residential, but previously it was a greenhouse or nursery rather. And then just next to it is the auto body shop. And yes, the auto body, when you work on vehicles, you start the engine and you crank it up and it makes noise. So, if you're going to say dogs are going to make noise, then what about that? Then I guess then that business also has to be taken care of. And as far as Pleasant Valley, it's down the road. It's literally by car 1 minute away. By walk, it may be, I don't know, 0.5 miles, maybe like 12-minute walk, 15-minute. I don't think the noise is going to come, and I'm not even going to say noise because I'm surely going to do my engaged and occupied, and I'm not having 70, 80 dogs like any other daycare, so or grooming places. So just to make a note of that. And as far as buying property and people coming and looking at places and buying houses nearby, I think having a business is an asset. And not only, I don't know about Rocky Hill, but Glastonbury, Weathersfield, I've been to other towns too. And like right across somebody's house, there is I'm saying a doggy daycare with at least 80, 90 dogs. So if they are able to take care of it, I surely am going to be able to really do my best in taking care of it. As far as plants and the soil and all of that you said, I am a big advocate. I first will always look at the safe upkeep of the place. Also, even if y'all deny or accept my proposal for this business, the animal control officer will be coming, and he comes and visits my place in Glastonbury, and I have spoken to him, and he has told me all the rules and regulations, and as far as plants and things that aren't very dog-friendly, they are going to be taken out, and I have a good knowledge about what can and cannot be there as far as soil, as far as plants. So I will be doing my research. I surely do not want to harm any animal under my care, and that's how my business has worked for 4.5 years in Glastonbury, and I hope so to do it in Rocky Hill too. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could just add, I'm not adverse to putting up a vinyl fence across the back of the property, to separate. It'll actually help them because they won't hear the noise from the Main Street traffic. If we put a 6-foot vinyl fence down the side across the back, it will actually help the houses in the back with any noise that they think they might have. And I mean, I understand.
Not only noise, but it also
And-
looks pretty when you put vinyl.
It looks pretty, she says, too,
Yeah,
when you
it's-
look
it's-
vinyl. But
It's aesthetic. So when you put a chain link fence, you pay less money. You put a vinyl fence, you pay more.
Right.
So aesthetically also, it can look good.
right, and we can't. And I understand their concerns, but we can't presume that, these dogs are going to be a huge nuisance because she knows how to handle them. It's what she specializes in. She knows how to deal with it, and it's very small scale, very small scale.
So
Thank you.
let's finish this questionnaire.
thank you.
Yeah, so you took me through the existing stuff. If you look at this property on Google Earth, I also see like some vehicles back there, beyond the woodshed and back, and just want to verify that those are probably not going to be there when this goes. You have stockpiles of material back there and everything else. All that will be gone, and
Yes, sir.
You would accept no landscaping or construction vehicles on the site?
None.
Okay.
None.
So
The
one of
payloader will be gone. The pile of topsoil
I
will be
didn't
gone.
even see the payloader, sir, thank you. In our regulations, we have a definition of a kennel: the housing or keeping of more than 3 dogs for show, boarding, temporary care, or sale. How do you differentiate yourself from a kennel?
Because we won't be keeping more
Right.
than 3 dogs. And be getting picked up in the afternoon at different intervals.
Would you say that 12 to 15 number is at one time, or they're just your clients?
You have more than 12 clients, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that's per day.
At one time that you're talking
Right,
about?
right. They won't all be there at the same time, though. They'll be getting dropped off at different intervals and picked up at different intervals. So there won't be 20-some-odd dogs there at once.
I'll let someone else go now.
Mr. Arce?
I think first, Mr. Rockamore, I know you said that the fire marshal was all set. I just want to clarify because on his sheet, there's nothing checked off. I don't know if we can check with the Fire Marshal Kim on that one.
I know we did
Approved, or-
ask
I know
them
there's
to
nothing on
submit a
rev-
report.
Yeah, I know there's no revisions he mentioned, but he didn't click off on approve, so I just wanted to check on that one first.
There were no comments.
Yeah, no comments.
Because
He just
typically
didn't-
what they do is they write their comments.
Ran out
on
of
there.
ink. Where are you supposed to?
I don't know, but he didn't write any comments.
Thank you, Kim. I think it was Mrs. Cheney who brought up one of the points that I would bring up, and that is because it's a nursery, obviously there's pesticides in the ground. I don't know if any testing was done. I don't know if remediation is planned for that site, but chances are there's something in the soil, I would presume. So I know Dr. Gary said she obviously wouldn't harm any dogs, but I think it would behoove anyone who's going to do something in this manner to do some testing and most likely remediation. We talked about dog noise. Next comment I have is you're showing dog play areas roughly about 2,400 square feet according to the plan. So this room is roughly about 900 square feet. So I know we're talking low volume of dogs, but that's a big play area for a limited amount of dogs. So can you take us through why you need such a large area of what would be a new dog play area for your 6-foot fenced-in area? So anywhere in red on the site plan is depicting a fenced-in area.
Is that the 2,400 square feet?
That's 1,800, which is a one-story wood frame, and you got about 6 square feet attached to the existing wood shed. So 2,400 square feet is a pretty large area, so just kind of take us through why you need that much of a play area if it's a limited amount of dogs going.
Well, there's Commissioner, there's a deck in the back with stairs going down.
Correct, but it's still a
And then
penned-in
there's
area.
2 propane tanks in that
Yep.
area.
Yeah, I got you. It's still a
Okay.
penned-in area of that
Right.
magnitude, so. Trying to
So
decide.
I would have to defer to Dr. Gary because I don't, that's just, we fenced off that area because it was at a right angle to the greenhouse and connected back to the house. So the greenhouse could act as a buffer for the properties to the north. And then the shed can
for
be a
example-
buffer for the properties to the east.
So why do we need another 600 square feet off the shed if it's adequate enough off of the existing structure? I don't know, just kind of enlighten us as to,
If you can come up.
Yeah, I mean, when he asked me and I looked at the map, I actually put that area in there. I just wanted it to be, it doesn't mean that a bigger area, I'm going to have more dogs than I already mentioned. It's just that it looked better the way it connected from, I think, from the greenhouse at an angle and then around. And it is a nice open gravel area. And with, I just want, the dogs to be safe. I don't want them getting out. I would rather have a little more extra room in there rather than cramping it all there and, hopefully we have no escapees, but, I just want to make sure we have enough room there.
yeah.
And I would not be adverse to putting a vinyl fence up. in
Yeah.
No,
place
I
of
agree.
that.
I'm just trying to raise the point that
No,
you're
yeah.
allocating a lot of space for a
Yeah.
limited amount of dogs. So
Yeah.
the commission might look at it like, why do you need that much space if it's a limited amount of dogs? So I'm just trying to get a feel for that, that's all.
I mean, there's really no reason. I guess because it's chain link, and I said, why not just fence the area? If you're talking vinyl, I may think about the cost and think about it, and
Okay.
yeah.
He'll pay for it.
I would.
Yeah, fences are
I'll
very
commit to that.
expensive. I did it
Yeah,
in my
just-
own house, so yeah.
Just bringing the point up.
Yeah, thank you.
And the other comment I have is for parking.
Yes.
So, you've got 3 9x18 parking spots. I got a truck that's over 20 feet. That means my bumper's hanging out of your property line. That front parking spot is touching your property line. So you're 10 feet away from Main Street. So I'm trying to envision a vehicle parking in that spot trying to reverse out. So is there other ways to put parking spots on that site? Or are you kind of pigeonholed to
not-
that location?
I'm not locked in at anything, on anything.
Well, it's just a tight, you can kind of see that it's kind of tight when you're pulling into that area. The
could-
parking spots are right out in front of you. And literally, one parking spot striping is going to be touching your property line.
Oh, so, okay, I got you, yeah, from the actual pavement on Main Street.
Correct, that's your property line, then you have 10 feet
Right.
of an easement area, which is Main Street. So coming into that
I
facility
could
and coming
change
out.
that.
Yeah, I think
I
that,
could, I could take that
I think
sidewalk
that
out
would
of
be,
there.
yeah, it'd be problematic for sure in that location.
100%, I could,
So it might be
well, you're
something
looking at your
to,
map, but see the building line? I think it's the building line. I could go where that sidewalk is, I can go straight across there with parking spaces, giving
Yeah,
30
how-
feet.
however it might work, it's just, I'm looking at it like it's problematic for people coming and going. that's
Yep,
all.
I got you. Jim Cassidy did this, and I could certainly, staff comments, I can have
Yeah,
Jim change that.
Just bringing it up. I am all set, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Right. Commissioner?
Got a question about hours of business during the week. Are you going to be open on Saturdays,
I believe it's
Sundays?
8 to 6 during the week. Are you open on Saturdays?
Yes. Saturdays may,
Go right ahead.
Saturdays may be half a day, but yeah, usually it's 8 to 6. That's what I would do.
Okay. So you said you'll have about 12 to 15 customers a day.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
How does that typically work? Do they drop off, on the way to work and pick up on the way home from work, or how?
Yes, so they, when I say, let's say 15, not all 15 are going to be dropped off the same time. There would be, because of the grooming times, there would be drop off and pick up.
Okay.
Usually the clients don't stay with their dogs. In the business that I have, I allow some of the clients because they have older dogs to stay. So other than that, I don't see, everyone being
Right.
there at the same
So
time.
if somebody drops off their dog, they might pick the dog up in a few hours? Is
Yes.
that reasonable? Okay.
Yes, but just to give you all a range of the timing or hours of operation is what it is.
Okay. And will you have to go to the health department to get a license for this work?
So I have to go to the animal control officer, and that's how I went through him or went through the department when I did my business in Glastonbury. And he still comes every 2 or 3 months and does a regular check and sends me the report. So the same thing, not only my establishment, but anyone in the state of Connecticut, that's what usually happens.
So no, the health department doesn't get involved in
The health
licensing this
department-
type of business?
No, because you're not like, the health department may get involved if you are selling human beverages, human food and drink and things like that, but not animal related.
Okay. And one other question about, there's some grooming that's going to be done?
Yes.
What do you do with the hair? How do you manage that? Is that just
So,
regular
yeah,
trash?
that's a very
or-
good question, because when I also opened my business, I tried a lot of gadgets and I've reviewed many of them because some have worked better than the others. So the grooming area also, like when the animal control officer comes and they have a list on how a grooming area should be, what it should contain, the non-skid mats, things like that, easily cleanable areas. So all that is taken care of at my business currently, and believe it or not, when people do walk in, they say it doesn't even smell like a grooming place. So I keep my place of business very tidy. After each client, when there is hair, we wax the area. So it's not like we wait for the whole day and for hair to pile up everywhere and flying everywhere. It's done right after, and it's done because, I don't know about regulations or rules, but as far as I'm concerned, that's how I have a dog, and I keep him clean. And the area is kept clean, so that's the same thing I would do with my business, because it's not just business. I really love what I do, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Morose?
Okay, I've got 4 or 5. So the greenhouse is not going to be used for anything, it's just going to be cleaned out, and
Going to be cleaned out.
it's not going to be used by the business?
Yeah, you can get to the greenhouse from the building in the front. So if it's a rainy day and she wants to put a dog on a leash and bring it outside and walk it or whatever, or get it some exercise or whatever, she'll probably she'll walk it through the greenhouse, which is 1,800 square feet and fairly long. So the dog can get a little bit of exercise, go outside, do its business or whatever, and come back in.
Okay.
Yeah, so the greenhouse will be used. I cannot say that it won't be used.
She'll be walking
It-
through it and
yeah,
walking
it will
dogs
be
in it.
used.
It's a great place, like a gym, it's a great place to put a dog on a leash and get it some exercise back into the building.
Just to clarify, you currently have a non-conforming use of retail.
Correct.
So you're actually asking for a second non-conforming use, which would be a service or dog grooming and therapy business, which is not retail, correct?
Well,
You're not selling,
a service is retail. I was gonna talk about this last time, and, I mean, I guess it's interpretation, but there's a legislative definition of retail, and services is included in it. It's not personal care, because personal care is, again, manicure, pedicure,
Spa.
hair.
human
you know, for
personal care.
people.
Right.
So this is a service, so like a siding company, they install the siding on your house, it's a service. But it's retail, they're selling the service, and they're selling the products
Okay.
that go along with the service.
Now, you mentioned a couple of times you're going to have as many as 12 to 15 dogs on the property on a certain day,
Correct.
from 8 to 6. How many will you have at any one time?
I mean, that is very difficult to say. I hope, like, eventually it's at full capacity. So if I'm limiting it to 15 dogs, I hope I have 15 customers. But, I mean, it's just very difficult to gauge. I would say maybe 5 dogs at a time. This is, again, I'm just speculating. I don't know what's going to
It won't be
happen.
one at a time.
I'm sorry?
It won't be one at a time.
No, no.
Okay. And how many people, how many people do you have working? Just you yourself?
So it will be me and one other person.
Okay. So let's say you have 4 dogs on the property at one time.
Yes.
You'll be working on one, the other person will be working on one. Where will the other 2 be?
So we have, like in my establishment, I advertise it as a crate-free grooming or service.
So where would they be?
But here also, as I said, I'm going to put like a gate, say even in the greenhouse area, and let the dogs hang out, because if they're confined.
There's a second floor too.
Yeah.
There's a second floor in the building.
Yeah.
So she could put gates up
Gates.
there and bring the dogs that are waiting to get groomed, put them up there until, the ones that she's working on are finished. So it's a two-level, and there's a full 9-foot ceilings. So you have the full basement, which the nursery used, their storage and all that. So there's a full basement downstairs, there's a full first floor, and there's a second floor. So there's plenty of room to put
Yes.
dogs in waiting.
Okay. So there won't be any dogs in waiting, as you put it, in the 2 fenced-in areas.
There might be, there might be one
That's
or
what
two.
I think the people are concerned about.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but tough to say. There might be a dog, I mean, maybe she's busy and, the dog wants to go out and she opens the door and lets the dog on, then the dog comes back in. Tough to say.
It's tough to say because it's so much gray area that you can't really
We're
predict.
not gonna break any of the regulations. There's gonna be no dogs there, breaking the overnight kennel regulation.
yeah, and
We're only gonna do
Yeah.
what we're supposed to do, or what
Yeah,
she's supposed to
I
do.
don't-
I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and the property is going to have cameras and everything of that sort. So there's always going to be monitoring. It's not like I'm going to leave a dog unsupervised or out of sight, so.
And again, I'm not adverse to vinyl 6-foot fences. I mean, I got a pile of topsoil in the back that's 40 feet high. I could build a berm and put a fence on top of that. If an issue ever was to arise,
Yeah,
I would
well,
address it.
That's the problem I think we have in a residential neighborhood. If the issue arises, then
Then I'm on it.
you have a 3-4 week period that you'll be working on it where the issue will remain. That's, I mean, I'm thinking of the people that live in the area.
Sorry,
Okay.
when you say issue, what?
Well, he
issue?
said, Mr. Rockamora said, an issue might arise with noise.
Issues arise every day, everywhere.
Right, yeah.
And you have to.
There's an issue, right?
You can't presume that there's going to be an issue.
Yeah,
But if
just,
there is, I've been in this town for 40 years. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to, I'm old. I'm not going to walk away from it. So I've got other properties in
I know.
town, and I've had them for 30-plus years. I've never had an issue at any of them. I've got commercial properties. I've got commercial properties that are adjacent to residential properties now. My property on Dividend Road abuts the whole cul-de-sac in the back. And we have a complete central turf and irrigation is there. They're loading trucks early in the morning. I tell them, look at, no loading of trucks before, 7:30, 7:45 in the morning.
Okay.
We adjust-
Yeah,
I
we're
have
going to be
properties now that are
respectful.
adjacent.
Let's
My
focus
commercial-
on this
Yeah, we're-
current, yeah.
I just want you to know that
We
my
know you
commercial
own half the
properties now
town.
abut
No, I'm
residential.
just kidding. And you've been very good in town, by the way. I shouldn't say that.
Thank you.
Subjective.
Yeah.
When you have dogs left in a place that they haven't been before,
yes,
yeah, I'm familiar with dogs too. I had a
Yes.
couple years
Of course.
ago. If they're in a strange place and they don't have somebody attending them at that moment, chances are they will bark, correct?
yes, but they're going to be dropped off, say, by the owner, and until, they are ready or ready for us to, come into service or get something done, the owner might choose to stay, or if the owner chooses to leave, then again, the gates come into picture where they're going to be contained. So I'm not going to meaning to say I'm not going to let a dog bark and go crazy and just let it be and not address it. They are animals. It's just so difficult. This is all, we are just predicting what may or may not happen. But I'm obviously, if I stayed next door to the property, I'm going to be respectful of that and make sure it's not a nuisance to anybody else, to my best of ability.
The existing building, although it doesn't look it, looks like an old post and beam building. It's actually a new building, made to look that way. And 6 inches of foam insulation between the outside boards. It's made to look like post and beam, but when it was built in 2013, I think. There's 6 inches of foam insulation between the outside wall and the inside walls, which are both wood. So the inside wall is made to look like it's the outside wall, but it's not. There's 6 inches. The windows are all glazed and double pane because the building is air conditioned, and it had to meet the energy codes of when it was built. So that insulation not only works well with heat loss, but it also works well as a noise barrier. So and the dogs will be inside. And she's not going to listen to a dog barking all day. It's going to drive, she's got work to do.
Yeah.
It'll drive her nuts.
So with all this, I mean, I'm not saying with all that sarcastically.
No
but
problem.
What are the 2 open areas going to be used for? I don't think we've addressed that yet.
Yeah, so basically the areas is so that there's a barricade. I don't have any escapees. If the dogs, the area is for the dogs. So if they need to go out, and I just don't want any dog escaping, because the road is there and there are houses around. And obviously, when my clients trust me with their pet care and safety, I'm not going to. Even my own house, I had to do that because I have a beagle and he always tries to escape. So the idea of the fence is, yes, for the dogs to use it and be in the area, come in and out, be able to freely roam and come back.
So if a neighbor has a dog and she's got this dog on a leash going out the back door in the fenced-in area, the dog sees the other dog, she's, I don't know, 120 pounds, the dog will pull the leash and maybe get loose. Well, if that happens because it sees another neighboring dog or something, because there's plenty
It's
of dogs in the neighborhood,
it's just
at
for
least the dog
safety.
will be safe.
Yeah, it's just for safety.
So the dog, you'll never have dogs outside unattended in those, either
Not
of those
unattended,
two
no.
fenced-in areas?
No, not
Okay,
they will
that's-
be out, but not
that's a big
unattended.
concern that
Yes, no, they
people
will
are
not
aware
be unattended. That I can assure.
Okay. How many escapees have you had in your,
So,
you opened yourself up to this
you
by
know, and
mentioning that.
I'm glad to answer, and I'll be very happy to answer. So, personally, I've had an escapee, which is my own dog. But that's not because of the fence or anything. That's before we even put the fence, because the electric fences don't work for him. So I don't even believe in that system. I don't believe in shocking my dog having an electric fence. No offense for people that do, but I wouldn't do that. So I haven't had any escapees because this portion of the business, having more than one dog, is kind of new, and I wanted to start it in the town that I bought a house in, and that's why I looked at. I even looked, like, very frankly today, I only wanted to open one more establishment in Glastonbury because it's you know, I already have a clientele. It's already built. It's just easy. But you know, when I go to the dog park a lot, I see so many people that are dog lovers, and there's never enough of people like me, and especially the way I do it, it's very exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Main Street, so tractor trailer, crumble concrete, trucks are all day long up and down Main Street, and that's why I said previously, maybe putting up a white vinyl fence, which I would not be adverse to doing, would even help the houses in the back.
Okay.
All right, any further questions?
No, I think I have it.
Good.
I'm all set, yeah.
All right. Commissioner Robbins?
Hey, yeah, so this is a little bit more challenging than others because it's a grandfathered non-conforming use, and I'm assuming that it's simply that it's just a grandfathered non-conforming use. Is there anything else that talks about this non-conforming use? Was there ever a variance approved, or are there some old documents that talk about it, or is it
There's no
just a
variances.
carryover non-conforming use grandfathered?
There's no variances or anything on the property.
Okay.
It's just been considered commercial property longer than I've been here. So,
Yeah.
same
So,
way the VFW is considered, same way Hicks Garage is considered, same way the upholstery shop next door is considered.
Okay. And the interesting thing is that we really don't have we have commercial zones, we have business zones, but we don't really have a retail zone anymore. But typically, when we have a special permit application, we'll have all the zoning requirements lined up in a table to show how they comply with those zoning requirements. So unfortunately, in this proposal, we can't even do that because we don't really have a retail zone anymore because they're called commercial zones, so commercial business. But the thing I want to loop back around to, based on what was previously discussed, is that I understand the concept of having the fences, especially next to the house and linked to the greenhouse to avoid a dog getting loose, or if somebody had to wait outside for a while for some reason. But on the table or on the site layout diagram, those are labeled as dog play areas, and when dogs play, dogs bark. So you heard what everyone was saying, is that why you know, from where we take our dogs, whether it be a dog daycare or dog grooming, everywhere I've been, all that stuff is indoors. So this whole concept of noise goes away. Is there anything you could do to just extinguish that issue and have the dog play area indoors? I mean, for example, you have a greenhouse. I don't know if it's made out of plastic or glass, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but
Dr. Sueda wants to address, would you like her to address that now?
Yeah, that's sure.
Yeah, so, we could do it indoor, but I don't, like, personally, sometimes I have to take my dog to PetSmart for overnight boarding or even daycare, and they have a teeny tiny room, and all the dogs are cramped, all different sizes dogs. The dogs pee and poop, and there's just noise. And I stopped taking my dog there. I would never do that. I just made other arrangements for my dog. So I don't think, like, animals love to be out. If you tell your dog, let's go for a walk, they love it. So I feel if you have an indoor-outdoor kind of setting, like what I'm proposing, it would kind of burn the energy out too, so that when we talk about noise, they're not really barking, because more than physical tiredness, I think if you burn them out mentally also, that helps to kind of keep the noise down. So I think an indoor-outdoor space works well, and not many places offer it. And I would like to offer that as, why not? It's such a beautiful location and a good property. And when I saw it, because usually when I walk into any business, I already look at things differently, and that's why I thought this would be very suitable for my kind of business. Yeah.
And I don't disagree with the concept. It's just that this location is now in an R20 residential district. And even though it has the grandfathered use, if this commission approves it, it's still going to be in an R20 residential district, and we're locking in possibly a more intense use, non-conforming use than what currently exists. That involves some new issues that could affect property value or so on. So that's why I say, can't tell you what to do, but just throwing it out there, like, what are the opportunities to mitigate some of the issues that you're hearing about tonight? And I just see that big greenhouse as a big area that might provide an opportunity, but just throw that out there. But and then and the other thing is too, I'm just having a hard time completely grasping your business and how it's different than others. And considering you already have another business, it would have been nice if like maybe you shared pictures of what your current business looks like and how that's run. I think that would get everybody a better understanding.
I would love to.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. I would love to share that information, and you look. If you look at Google, I'm all over town, not only town of Rocky Hill or Glastonbury. I do many local events. I support many towns and many other local endeavors. Like now in Wethersfield, we have the Poach Fest and the Corn Fest coming up. So I do a lot in town, and people that have come to me know how I function, operate, and if that's some information that y'all would like to look at, I would be more than happy to provide that. It's all transparent, so I have nothing to.
Okay.
I have not.
So she's never been cited or,
And I hope not to also.
right.
Is that it, Commissioner?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I have a couple of questions, and again, following up on the noise and application itself. This is a non-conforming use. With the application, we cannot make certain assumptions. Dogs are not going to bark. They will be kept in. We can't assume things, right? When we look at application, we have to have a complete application in front of us so that we know what we are approving.
Correct.
We can't have something where there are assumptions, well, dogs are not going to bark, because the way I do in Glastonbury, right? And that's what at least I'm struggling with. When we have applications, we have a complete knowledge of what's happening in that application. Right now, we don't have that picture. We don't have that picture of, how this is different than Glastonbury. I think last time when you came and when we talked about it, it was like one-on-one type thing. One, dog comes and, there's a therapy and stuff, and then they go and someone else comes in. I think if I recall, that's how I recall it was portrayed. And I think now it looks like, I think that 12 to 18 number or 15 number is the number that we heard today, which is much larger than what we heard last time. At least that's my recollection. So I think what's happening is the more we talk about the application, the more we are trying, more things we are, are coming out and we are trying, so I think that's the issue right now. The application has to be clear as to what it is being proposed and what will be done and, how, the hours, how many dogs will be there at one time. You said you have 2 staff. Now, even if we have 5, 6, 7 dogs, how will they be handled? Will they be kept in greenhouse, because, so I'm struggling with that. So that's the concept. That's from the application perspective.
Could I just say something? I just want to be clear for the record that, yes, Mr. Rockamora was here in the past. That was for discussion purposes. So essentially, this is the first time you're seeing an application. That was one thing. Now this is the application. So if you want it to be continued for whatever reason,
right,
that's another thing.
No, and that
you could do.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I think what I'm trying to do is, just trying to so that we can clarify those things, and because that's at least I'm struggling. I don't know about other commissioners. Now, the other thing is we have, the issue is this is a residential area and this is a special permit. So we have regulations that we have to go by, and there is Section 8, special standards for non-conforming situations. And there is one section that says, a non-conforming use shall not be extended or enlarged except that the commission may, by special permit, allow, and this is the special permit. And it says, modification to or minor expansion of a non-conforming use of land or to a building or structure containing a non-conforming use, provided that such modification or expansion does not add any additional non-conforming uses, does not significantly change the nature or intensity of the use of land or structure. And, there are other things. So I think it is changing the use that was already there. There was a different use. If that use was coming for expansion or things like that, we could have looked at differently. Now this is totally different use, right? So what we are trying to do is, I think, the justification of why this application should be considered and positively is not there. And I think that's what I'm struggling with, at least from my side.
If it was, say, a human service business, then no one would no one would have an issue. There's nothing much to dig into or see, and but with animals, obviously, it's such a gray area. Who knows? There may not be any nuisance. Like how you're saying, there may be noise, but there may not be noise. It's both sides. So it's just difficult to gauge. But all I'm asking or suggesting or proposing, I would say, is I know that if y'all give me the opportunity, I will abide by those rules and regulations and to my best ability and do it, Because if it was just a business, I would say, I would tell you right here and now, yeah, there's enough space. I want to open a regular doggy daycare with 70 dogs like many other places. But me limiting everything is saying that, is saying volumes there. So
No, and I think that's, so maybe if you can just touch a little bit about how it is in Glastonbury. So
Sure,
it's
can I-
totally different,
Yeah.
not similar concept, right? Just for
yes.
understanding
Yeah.
purposes.
So when I advertise my business in Glastonbury, it's called Rehab Canine. It's all one-on-one. So that's how, even when people ask, where can I take my dog for grooming? My dog's very nervous, or it's the first time he's getting groomed, or he has a heart murmur, he or she. So then I let people know this is what I do. And being a canine therapist, I am on site. And so even if my groomers have any problem or difficulty, I'm there in case I need to intervene. And so my clients bring their dog. So when I say one-on-one grooming there, they bring their dog, we groom, there's no wait time, I don't have crates whatsoever because there's no reason. Your dog is getting an exclusive service, or your cat is getting an exclusive service. They get groomed, or they come for therapy to me. They've finished therapy, and then they leave. So that's more exclusive. When I say one-on-one, that's what it is. And that's why also being Glastonbury and the service that I provide, I can charge more and make the rent and break even. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to manage a business. So in terms of exclusivity, that's what I mean.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so hopefully now everybody maybe can understand the
And
difference.
if you
I think-
could read like reviews also, you can
Yep.
see in that the pictures, everything is there. So there's nothing really that
So can that model work here?
it cannot, because I got a very good deal as far as rent and maintenance and all that other pricing, especially in a town like Glastonbury, which is so expensive. Everything is expensive. Even a small little room is expensive. So the owner kind of knew me, and we had a good rapport, and I got a good deal. So I kind of make more. I have a good running business so far. Knock on wood, it's going good. So in this area, if I'm going to pay $3,000 in rent, if I just have one dog at a time, and say in a day I have 5 dogs, I might as well not open a business.
So, and then the other question, this is for staff, as one of the commissioners brought up, the definition of kennel, it's the housing or keeping of more than 3 dogs for show, boarding, temporary care, or sale. How
don't-
does this meet that definition?
We've had this conversation in the past, and that was years ago with animal control because of doggy daycare being a fairly new use at the time. They consider overnight boarding more of a kennel, like Best Friends. They do boarding. If you're going on vacation, for example, you can drop your dog off and they can stay for days, weeks, what have you. But doggy daycare, they're there for a temporary time period during the day, and they're picked up at the end of the day.
We have several pet spas in town. What are they considered? Are they considered kennels? There's one in the South Dean, right?
Correct. And they're
Just-
just
It's a retail
like
business.
doggy daycare type places. They don't have a kennel license.
So there's a license associated with a kennel.
So if I can answer
Like
that.
Best
We're just
Friends,
talking-
like as I said, Best Friends has a kennel license.
But that's not what we're talking about then.
Well, we're trying to distinguish between kennel and this application.
I think, but I think, and I think what I'm trying to do is, we have regulation in place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to,
Yeah. From what-
follow the regulation.
From what we're hearing,
Yeah.
we have some dogs that I guess are being dropped off and picked up, groomed and picked up
Yes,
at the same
and-
time, while others are maybe staying for the day, playing or getting a therapy appointment and then
Yes.
playing and then getting picked up later in the day, but they're not staying over, there's no boarding.
So if I were to have 3 or more dogs staying overnight, that becomes a kennel license, is what I was going to say. Because I did find out I spoke in depth with the animal control officer, and any more than 3 dogs that stay overnight,
Right.
that becomes a kennel license, and that's a whole different license.
And I think, thanks for that. I think, as I said, the definition that we have in our regulation is the housing or keeping of more than 3 dogs for show, boarding, temporary care, or sale. Now, temporary care, that's what I'm hung up on.
Yeah, we've never,
You know, temporary care, could be 1 hour, could be 5 hours, could be 8 hours. It
That's
could
not,
be-
that's not overnight, so
It's
that's.
not overnight.
So that fits the fits the
we've
definition.
ever, we
Right.
would, we as staff would not consider that.
I think that's whether, and I don't want to be argumentative here, I'm just reading the
And
definition.
I'm letting you know how
and
we've interpreted.
Because the boarding is staying overnight
Correct.
and then temporary.
They need
right?
to, yeah, they need to
Whatever is
correct
not
that.
boarding is temporary for whatever hours. Right? So I think that's also what I'm hung up on when when I'm looking at.
But as she mentioned, like best friends, and I've taken my dog there too. They have dogs staying overnight, and yes, they have to have a kennel license. In my case, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to have that happening, so I don't even need to apply for that license.
And temporary could mean 5 minutes.
Temporary could be a
5
minute,
minutes,
So
could
I
be
think
one
that's
hour,
a flaw in the
could be
regulation.
10
Yeah.
hours,
Is
yeah.
basically what that is.
yeah.
So I'm
So
done
now,
with,
basically what you're saying, if in fact that's the way the commission interprets it, and that would be something that ZBA would have to weigh in on because ZEOs over time have not interpreted it that way, then we would be dealing with all doggy daycares in town and basically telling them
Yeah.
to get kennel
Well, if they close them
licenses
all down.
based upon,
That's immaterial.
that's
Yeah.
something we have to go to.
yeah, and I think unfortunately what happens is when things come to the commission and when we are looking at it, maybe this regulation should have been revised, when things were happening. So what we are sitting here, looking at this Bible, I'm looking at the definition which has boarding, which means staying overnight. What is temporary? Not staying overnight, it is temporary,
And it's in the regulation.
which is in the regulation. So that's what we are struggling with. And these are the regulations that we have to amend if there is a problem, if there is a conflict.
We
So,
could put a caveat in.
Yeah.
A
And
point
we'll
of-
state in the approval if there's an approval.
A point of order, we're getting into a debate now, we're
Okay.
not
Oh, I'm
getting in.
sorry.
yeah,
My
so I
apologies.
think,
No, not you, but all of us. Not just you.
now, so let's,
Let's move
any questions, any follow-up questions while they're here?
I would like to throw out to this commission, should we table this application to clean the site plan up with all of the questions that we asked and all the basically quote-unquote corrections that
I would do that.
are said to be made, parking, the additional dog area in the back, is it needed? Can we just go with the greenhouse area and the front area and the white fence and all the stuff that was talked about? Can we get a strict definition or judgment from staff, whether it's from staff or whoever, about quote-unquote kennel?
Yep.
And
I would
let's-
suggest
let's-
we do that.
And then, in the meantime, the applicant can come with paraphernalia about her business and to explain it more, because you said you wanted to try to explain your business more. Rather than us Googling it, I'd rather have it come from you, the expert, than us
I would love to.
interpreting a website. Very nice website, I'd rather have it come from you. So.
I would love to.
I would love to, I mean, I would like to throw it out to the commission, but I would like to table this
Yeah.
application so we can get more information and have this cleaned up, maybe before and after. And
Yeah, we should
show
do
us
that.
everything that you've talked about tonight, show us.
It would be,
Can you
And
guys,
what-
can you give me something a little specific?
Well, I was gonna
You
say-
wanna-
Well, we can, I'm talking to these guys
Yes.
first
Oh, I'm sorry.
to talk about tabling this,
it would be a recess.
I think we should maybe-
whatever it is, recess this public hearing.
Yeah.
And let's give this applicant stuff
move to recess.
Hold on.
No, I'm not doing it, I'm suggesting it.
Yeah.
Wait, there are other questions.
So.
Right,
we-
but
we
I'm
can
telling,
we can come up
I'm
with a-
addressing this one right
We
now.
can come up with a laundry list of things to basically say,
All right, so are there any questions? So when the motion comes, we will address. Okay. go ahead.
Just one more, with regards to parking. So you mentioned 2 employees, so let's reasonably assume each one has a vehicle. You have 4 parking spaces. That only leaves 2 parking spaces, one of which is handicapped, for patrons. So I'm just questioning whether that's really enough, because I'm worried about people queuing up on Main Street trying to get in for a parking space. That's a safety issue,
They're
so.
parking in the back.
Oh, you're parking in the back.
Doctor and assistant parking in the back.
So that gives room for people in front.
Right, so the front will just be for customers.
So I think
And
again.
where in the back? We'd like to see that on
On the side of the
on the
side
plan.
of the fenced-in area.
well, that's one of the things that.
Just show us on the plan
That's a
when you come
clarific-
to it.
These are the type of things that us as
Clean
a
up.
commission will come up with like a little laundry list for you guys to show us. So it's not arbitrary and it's very concrete, and that way we can address it. In the meantime, we can address everything all at once rather than sit here and go back and forth, because that's not the way to do a site plan
Will you give
application.
me a laundry list?
Well, we're gonna attempt to do
going
this
I
right now.
would suggest that when Commissioner Zarelli makes his motion, assuming
make
you
it
will.
up, yeah.
No, I don't, I'm fine. Just detail
Yeah, yeah.
specifically the bullets
That's
that you
what we're
want
gonna-
to
yep.
see. And then the continued public hearing will address those issues. And as we know from years, over the years, that
Yep.
nothing else, just those, but be specific, a suggestion, I'm not ordering.
Yep.
And I'm gonna rely on other commissioners to
Yes.
add on to these
Right,
things.
okay.
Okay, so motion to recess this public hearing on the basis of getting more information. One, to clarify the site plan and everything that was talked about in the meeting tonight. One, parking, cleaning up the landscaped areas. Is the 2 dog areas, play areas actually needed? Or do we just go with the interconnection between the glass greenhouse and the back deck area? Depict the vinyl fence if we're gonna do a vinyl fence. Does parking need to be expanded? Show the employee parking. Tell us how trash is gonna be picked up. There's been some concern about how remnants of taking care of animals, how is that gonna be taken care of? Is there gonna be trash involved? For staff, as part of this, maybe it's been addressed because of licensing, but let's talk about a kennel and why this is not a kennel. So we have a concrete depiction of why this is or this is not a kennel. Did I miss anything? Oh, and the applicant, please bring something about your business.
Sure.
So we can understand more about your business, because you are differentiating yourself from the big box
Yes,
daycares.
Yes.
So we would like to see why
Surely.
that is.
Yeah, I think you covered it. I'll
Also-
second that. Oh, well,
Also,
we need a second before we get an amendment.
Also, information on, as I think you also had pointed out about soil, because it was a nursery, we don't know whether they had used pesticides, this or that, whatever. What happens in that, the greenhouse, right? I don't know what they were
So-
using there on the other soil.
We're just coming up
So
with a
just
list. You don't
coming
have
up
to
with a
rebut
list.
now.
okay, so,
you
yeah.
can
I
address
can
those
address that for sure, thank
and
you.
make sure that that
Yeah.
is all, all clean. I think,
And
I'll
then
second that.
generically,
Yep.
and generically, anything else that mitigates the concerns raised during this meeting and by the neighboring property owners.
which is.
So, noise, property value, or whatever. Just in general, anything else they can add.
So what he's saying is any mitigation measures you can take or propose that is different than what you are proposing today, that would mitigate and lessen the, possibilities of noise or whatever it is, right?
Sure.
So, like Glastonbury, one-on-one, very simple.
Yes.
It's very simple. Now, you are at the two end of the spectrum.
Yes.
Is there something in the middle somewhere,
Okay.
Anything else before we close? I'll second it. All right, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Going to,
So we're going to talk about sitting now
yeah,
before we go to the second one.
yep.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, I think Commissioner Robbins is seated now. Right, so
So
Commissioner
now it would
Robbins,
be Dimple,
Seated.
Victor, Alan, Sean, and Ron.
yes. So Commissioner Robbins is seated, and Commissioner, he's off.
So we're on to B, special permit application under section 4B72 zoning regulations. John and Kathy McCarthy proposing a private school, Rock House School of Music, for property located at 1834 Silestein Highway in a C commercial zoning district ID 04-411-A.
Just, the applicant has requested that it just be continued to the next meeting.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we just have to be on the record.
yeah.
So, good. Yep.
Okay, so public hearing number C, letter C. Special permit application under section 4B73 zoning regulations. John Chimis, sorry if I butchered that, proposing a place of worship, Oasis Life Christian Church, for property located at Unit 200, 31 Inwood Road, in a BP2 Business Park zoning district ID 16-294. Please forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong.
Oh, that's fine. Shamus.
Shamus.
Good evening. My name is John Shamus. I live at 769 New Britain Avenue in Rocky Hill. Firstly, I would like to thank the Rocky Hill Zoning Commission for taking the time to hear our request for a special permit to establish a place of worship at 31 Inwood Road in Rocky Hill. In addition, I would like to thank the officials at the Rocky Hill Town Hall. Every person, I guess they're over here, have been so gracious in answering all our questions and in preparation for this meeting. Notices for a special permit request for 31 Inwood Road have been sent to the abutters within 500 feet. A proper sign giving notice has been placed at 31 Inwood Road in accordance with the Rocky Hill zoning regulations. And I have been a resident of Rocky Hill for 10 years. Before entering the ministry as a pastor, my previous occupation for 20 years was as a Connecticut public school teacher, and my concluding 7 years as a teacher were at Griswold Middle School in Rocky Hill. And I was a tech ed teacher, if that matters to anyone. But during these 7 years, I formed a strong connection with the Rocky Hill community. And during that time of being a teacher for 20 years, I was going to Bible school and became a pastor simultaneously. So I was a teacher and then I became a preacher. So currently, as the lead pastor of the Oasis of Life Christian Church in Rocky Hill, 13 years ago, we received a special permit from the Rocky Hill Zoning Board to locate the Oasis of Life Christian Church at 945 Cromwell Avenue in Cold Spring Plaza. And that's where we are currently located. By West Side Pizza is the famous landmark. So everyone seems to, if I say that, they know where it is. The Oasis Life Christian Church has served the Rocky Hill community throughout this 13-year period. Over the years, the church congregation has grown to approximately 75 to 80 members, depending on how I preached the week before. The Oasis Life Christian Church involvement in the Rocky Hill community. Currently, we conduct a food share program at Elbridge Park every other Friday, reaching 125 to 150 people in need of food and life support. In addition, we periodically provide support through Family Services of Rocky Hill, backpacks for kids, holiday baskets for Thanksgiving and Christmas, assistance with presents at Christmas. And then frequently, folks will just wander in to the church during the week. Some in need of financial help and some of need of just life help. We also have participated in the Rocky Hill Fall Festival on several occasions. The purpose for a special permit at 31 Inwood Road. The Oasis of Life Christian Church has outgrown its current location in Cold Spring Plaza, which is approximately 4,200 square feet. Oasis of Life Church, we have a strong desire to remain in the Rocky Hill community. And as you all know, it's not easy to find a location. We're looking at currently over 7,000 square feet. To find that location in Rocky Hill has been difficult, so it's taken us several years to find a location that would be appropriate. The 31 Inwood Road location provides the appropriate square footage, and if you look at Exhibit C and D, it gives you an idea of the square footage of the entire building and then how our location fits within it. I walked through the facility with Fire Marshal Richard Renstrom and to get an idea before we signed a lease if he felt like this could work given the floor plan that's in front of you. And obviously we would have to bring it up to code for public meeting space in addition to the landlord's fit out. We, as the church renting that property, will have to bring it up to code when you see the walls that we're going to set up there. And then also the plentiful parking, Exhibit A. We are allocated 144 spaces, but the owner of the property actually owns, as you can see in their Exhibit A, owns both buildings. So there's plenty of parking. It's at a signaled intersection, Inwood Road and then Cromwell Avenue, as you know. Using 31 Inwood Road as a place of worship will have limited impact upon adjoining properties. Obviously, our use is primarily Sunday morning when pretty much everyone else is closed and the traffic is very limited. We also have evening classes, but instead of saying 80 people, I would like to see 80 people come out during the week, but it's really probably these people that you see here, about 20 people. And then during the day, we do have office hours and we have some activities for seniors. But once again, the office staff is 2 people, and then 12 or 14 seniors might come out for our midweek Bible classes or classes. So that's my overview. I mean, I could go through each question. I don't think you want me to read them. You have them in front of you. Unless you want me to, I can do that as well. So thank you for your time and consideration, and I'll open to any questions you might
Special
have.
I think
permit,
it's a
yeah.
special permit, so you have to
Yes.
go through your
Oh, you want me to read through
submission.
each
Yeah,
one?
the special
Okay.
permit criteria. Sorry about that, we asked. you
No,
know,
that's
just to be
fine. I
on the
have it right in
record.
front of me. Okay. Would you like me to read the question as well?
Yeah, starting from A.
Oh, boy, I might need a drink of water. The location and size of the site, the nature and intensity of operations involved in conducting in connection with the use, and location of the site with respect to the streets giving access shall be in harmony and appropriate and orderly development in the district which is located and shall promote the welfare of the town. Excuse me. The location and size of Oasis Christian Church at Unit 231 Inwood Road will be in harmony and the nature and intensity of the current business operations. The church has been operating as a place of worship in Rocky Hill since 2012. Furthermore, it is our understanding the new proposed location will be in complete harmony with the overall welfare and healthy development of the town. 2, that the proposed use shall be of such location, size, and compliance with the orderly development of the district, which is proposed to be situated, and shall not tend to depreciate the value of the neighborhood, and shall not be detrimental or orderly development of adjacent properties in accordance with zoning classification such properties. As a public meeting space, the Oasis will be in compliance with the orderly development of the pre-existing properties. This property provides over 7,400 square feet, see Exhibit C and D, and ample parking, as I said previously, 145 spaces. Seeing Exhibit A, the use of the property as a public meeting space will actually have a positive impact on the adjacent properties and neighborhoods. This, as you guys and ladies know, was a call center and has been abandoned for vacant for 5 years or more. I actually walked through that property at least 4 years ago, and now that another tenant, Hanger, is going to take 2/3 of the building, that's what made it feasible for us to take the last third. There is still some empty space in the back, but primarily it's 2/3 and 1/3. The design elements of the proposed development will be attractive and suitable in relation to site characteristics, styles of other buildings, the immediate area and existing and probable future character of neighborhood, which will be, it is located. The Oasis Light Christian Church currently resides at Unit G in Cold Spring Plaza. The use of the Inwood location as a public meeting space will have no effect to the site's characteristics or site style of building, and will occupy the pre-existing structure, meaning there will be no new structures created. Everything we're doing is within the previous structure. The location, nature, and height of the buildings, wall, fences, plant activities, and the nature and extent of landscaping on the site such that will not hinder or discourage appropriate development and use of adjacent land or buildings or impair their value. Once again, development of Unit 231 Inwood Road as a public meeting space will not affect the location, nature, walls, plant activities, or the extent of landscaping. All fit out will occur on the interior of the structure and will not hinder or discourage the appropriate development and or use of adjacent land and buildings or impair the value thereof. The proposed use or activities shall have no adverse effect upon neighboring area resulting from the use of signs, artificial lights, colored lights, flashing lights, loudspeakers, or noise-making devices. Development of Unit 200 Inwood Road as a public meeting space will not affect or have adverse effect on neighboring area resulting from signs, exposed artificial lights, colored lights, any flashing lights, loudspeakers, or other noise-making devices. The fit-out will occur on the interior space. Signage will comply with all zoning requirements with the Zone C Exhibit B. So currently I was just out there with the company we're using for the signage, and he's very aware of that he has to go before zoning to make the appropriate sizes. So the size I put there was just an example of a sign and doesn't reflect the actual size, which I will put in his hands, the professional's hands, to comply with the zoning of sign zoning. To the next item, in the cases where it is a Proposed converter structure designed and built originally for other use of the structure is adapted to propose from the public health and safety. And once again, the design elements, improvements of this unit 200 at 31 Inwood Road to a public meeting space will occur on the interior of the structure, will not change the existing characteristics of the structure. The original structure will remain adaptable to the proposed use from the point of view of public health and safety. Item C, suitable transportation conditions. The design and specific details of the proposed use or activity shall not adversely affect safety in the streets, nor increase traffic congestion in the area, nor interfere with the pattern of vehicular circulation, such as the manner to create and or augment unsafe traffic conditions. Response: the nature and intensity of the Oasis of Life Church will have little impact on current traffic flow in or around the Inwood Road vicinity. Primarily, the operation of the church occur on Sunday mornings when most Inwood Road businesses are closed. Parking areas or other parking areas of adequate size for particular use shall be suitable, screened from adjoining residential uses. Entrances, exit drives will be laid out to prevent hazards and nuisances. The parking for Unit 231 Inwood Road is vast. This is just our side, as you can see in Exhibit A, consisting of 144 spaces. Total seating for the proposed meeting space does not exceed 200 seats. Exhibit C. The current code in Rocky Hill for public meeting space is 1 parking space per 3 occupants. In other words, for every 3 chairs that we have to have 1 parking space. And obviously, that is the amount of parking is in excess of that. Streets and other right-of-ways will be of such size, condition, capacity, in terms of width, grade, alignment, and visibility to adequately accommodate the traffic to be generated by their particular proposed use. The time of primary use of the public meeting space will 31 Inwood Road will occur on off-peak hours, Sunday mornings. Therefore, the proposed use will have little impact on traffic congestions or patterns. Item D, adequate public utilities, water supply, the provisions for water supply, sewage disposal, water drain conform to acceptable practices, engineering practices, comply with all standards of appropriate regulatory authority, and shall not unduly burden the capacity of such facilities. The proposed use of the meeting space will not change required public utilities, service, water, sewage disposal, or stormwaters for Unit 231 Inwood Road. The proposed use is actually a reduction from its previous use. So if you imagine a call center with, I think there were over 100 cubicles in that building, and we're having 200 seats once a week. So point made, I guess. The proposed use or activities shall provide easy accessibility for fire apparatus and police protection, laid out and equipped for further provision of emergency services. The proposed use of Unit 231 Inwood Road as public meeting space will not change the access for fire apparatus, police protection, or emergency services. All changes will be in the interior. See Exhibit A. And environmental protection, letter E, environmental protection and conservation. Appropriate consideration shall be given to the protection, preservation, and/or enhancement of natural resources and unique resources, including, where appropriate, the use of conservation restrictions to protect and permanently preserve such resources and features. The proposed use of Unit 231 Inwood Road as public meeting space will not change or affect environmental protection and/or conservation concerns. Appropriate consideration shall be given to the protection, preservation, and/or enhancement of historic and archaeological resources, including where appropriate, the use of conservation, restrictions to protect and permanently preserve such resources and features as the fit out and modifications to Unit 231 Inwood Road required to meet requirements as a public meeting space will occur in the interior building. It will not affect the protection and preservation and/or enhancement of historic and/or archaeological resources. Appropriate consideration shall be given to the protection, preservation, and/or enhancement of scenic resources, including where appropriate, the use of conservation restrictions to protect and permanently preserve such resources and features as the fit-out and modification required for Unit 200 to meet requirements as a public meeting space will occur in the interior of the building. It will not affect the scenic resources, including where appropriate, the use of conservation restrictions to protect and permanently preserve such resources and features. Item F, long-term viability. Adequate provisions have been made for the sustained maintenance of the proposed development structure, streets, and other improvements. As the fit-out and modifications required for Unit 200, 31 Inwood Road, to meet the requirements as a public meeting space will occur in the interior of the building. It will not affect the sustained maintenance of proposed development structure, streets, and other improvements. The current owner of the building will be responsible for the sustained maintenance and existing outer structure. So we are not in charge of landscaping, plowing, maintenance of anything on the exterior of the building, thankfully. Item G, consistency with overall objectives. Excuse me, the proposed use or activity does not conflict with the purposes of regulations as amended. As stated in the Plan of Conservation and Development, Rocky Hill is a diverse and balanced community. The proposed relocation of the Oasis of Life Christian Church to Unit 231 Inwood Road meets the proposed goals and regulations and needs of the Rocky Hill community. Next item says the proposed use or activity does not conflict with the achievement of the goals, objective, policy, and recommendations of the Plan of Conservation and Development as amended. The proposed relocation of the Oasis Life Christian Church to 231 Inwood Road does not conflict with the achievement goals and policies, recommendations of the Plan on Conservation and Development as amended. And lastly, the proposed use and activity adequately addresses the health and safety and welfare in general of the immediate neighborhood in particular. The proposed relocation of Oasis Life Christian Church to Unit 231 Inwood Road will enhance the health, safety, and welfare of the public in general in the immediate neighborhood. In the previous 12-year history of the Oasis Life, it has worked to be an asset to the town of Rocky Hill and its citizens. Amen.
You wish you had kept this.
I haven't worked this hard all week, yeah. No.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's.
So now I'm going to open up, it's a public hearing, so
Yes.
any comments from the public on this application? And if you do, we'll just please make sure it's shorter than 3 minutes. So again, if anybody would like to address the commission about this application? Anyone? 1, 2, 3, all right, thank you. I'll open it up for commissioner members. Commissioner Zarelli?
I have no questions.
Commissioner Hussey?
Pastor John, you read so much, I gotta ask you at least one question to you.
Oh, yes, I thank you. Just give me a chance to catch my breath.
Just out of curiosity, are there sprinklers in the building?
Yes, there are. That was
perfect.
one of our,
I'm not too worried. You got one of the best building officials in the state, so he'll help you out. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. Just
Yes.
curious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lucko?
Yeah, I have no questions either.
Commissioner Mahoos?
I hope the sermons are shorter than that
Yeah,
and more interesting.
very good.
Okay, I have no questions, though.
All right, Commissioner Robbins?
Mute.
You're muted.
Oh, just, what are you gonna do when you have over 200 people on a Sunday?
Move.
No, I don't. I
And
don't
that
have
would be
any-
a
any
great
questions.
problem. No, honestly, is we can always have a second service, but literally, we probably would. It's taken us it's basically a 10-year, 10-person a year growth, if we follow obviously, we had COVID. So we really, literally, after 5 years, had to restart because like many churches and businesses, it was a restart. So it's been about a 10-person growth per year. So we have a 5-year lease with an option for another 5, and that would be the plan.
Yeah, I didn't have any other serious questions other than, understanding that you have to bring the building up to code and there's another process for that, so.
Yes, yes. That, I've been meeting with the building department and the fire marshal to try to get our arms around. Before we signed the lease, we wanted to be well-informed.
Right, thank you. I'm just going to just read through, so there were 2 comments, right? One was from the engineering department, and both buildings uses the parking spaces. However, this is on the weekend type use, so probably there is no,
Conflict, yeah.
conflict between 2 uses, trying to get the parking space. And then the second one was from the health district. So I do see you have a small coffee area. So, I think the comment was that if it's turned into kitchen, then you have to get the permit.
Yeah, I
and approval.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I actually had a conversation with them as well. Where we are currently located, it used to be a restaurant, so we actually turned the bar into a cafe for coffee. We don't have any drinks after church, but, because we don't prepare food, we only serve coffee and pre-made items, that we won't have a functioning kitchen, just coffee and microwaves.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to close public hearing.
Have a second. All in favor of motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and have a good evening.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not
They have,
finished.
that was just closing the hearing. They still have to act on
Oh.
the agenda.
We'll act
Do I
on,
have to stay up here?
no,
Have a seat.
no. Again,
You've
if you guys
served your
want to
time.
go,
You
that's
can leave.
fine.
Yeah, you guys can leave.
You can always watch it on television.
Yeah, so
Or
the
call me.
action will be taken in maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we stay or do?
No,
why-
you don't have,
You don't
if you
have to
want
do
to,
it.
you
We
can.
would love the company.
You're done with me.
We would love the company.
All right, so guys, if we can stretch it out half more hour?
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
Calling the,
I'm okay with it.
call to order the meeting. Item 3, public comment. Is there anyone in the public who would like to address to the commission on the items not on the agenda? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
could
Item,
I make a suggestion that for the agenda items, we move agenda item D up to?
Well,
It's-
A's been waiting the whole time too, so.
yeah,
He's been here all
Yeah.
day.
yeah, so let's not
Agenda item A, site plan modification per section 9C64E zoning regulations. William Jett proposing 5 dual-point EV charging stations in the parking lot to the north of the building, the rear of Henkel Corporation for property located at 1 Henkel Way in Office Park zoning district ID 17-010.
Good evening. My name is Bill Jetty. I work for Custom Electric in Manchester, Connecticut. We're proposing 5 new EV chargers adjacent to 3 existing EV chargers at 1 Henkel Way.
Do you want to present anything, or that's?
You
That's
guys
what you
have
have?
the site plan in front of you, correct?
Yep.
Pretty much self-explanatory. It's that rear parking lot. Originally, when they had those 3 existing EV chargers installed, they had 3 employees that had electric vehicles. Now they have 50 employees that have electrical vehicles. Those 3 existing were installed in 2022.
All right. And any questions from Commissioner Zarelli?
I have none.
Commissioner Hussey?
No questions.
Commissioner Lecca?
None.
Commissioner Robbins? Any
No
questions?
questions.
I don't have questions either. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve EV charging stations at Henkel Corporation.
Can I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda B is not, agenda C is not. So we're on to agenda item D, special permit application under section 4B73 zoning regulations. John Chamus proposing a place of worship, Oasis of Life Christian Church for property located at Unit 200, 31 Inwood Road, in the BP2 Business Park 2 zoning district ID 16-294.
So you have to read that through again.
Motion to approve Oasis Life Christian Church for property located at Unit 231 Inwood Road.
All in favor of the
Second.
motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Item E. Oh, my head. Staff. Right, that's,
Plan Implementation Committee membership. Those currently on the the PIC committee are our chairman, Jimbo Desai, and Victor Zarelli. We also have staff members. We have a 14-member PIC committee based upon other commissions. We have a core team that meets on a regular basis, that has met on a regular basis. And I'm suggesting, instead of having some of the ancillary departments and commissions, such as Park and Rec or Human Services, which we had in the past and initially did attend, I'm suggesting that we pare down the initial PIC committee to 2 planning and zoning members, myself, Stephen Sopelak in our department. Possibly, we would have Ben and Winter sit in, Dave Pomberg, who deals with environmental issues. I know we did have Dave mention it to the Open Space and Conservation Commission, and they did actually appoint someone to do that. I would also suggest adding on a regular basis someone from the Economic Development Commission as well. Typically, we've had the Housing Authority appear as like guest members when we're discussing affordable housing issues or something like that, but I would pare it down to 2 P&Z members, a good portion of the Community Development Services staff, a member of the Open Space Conservation Commission and EDC. If you wanted someone from the Town Council, that would be up to you folks if you want to add someone from that body.
Special invite.
Okay. That's what I would
As
suggest.
part of the PIC before, I'm okay with that plan going forward. The only thing I would say about the PIC is, when does it start? Now that the POCD is approved, when does the PIC meeting start up?
Because we're going to have we also have our regulation updates coming up. So that's why we probably want to get that going
Okay.
as well. And we as staff are already kind of keeping notebooks of issues that have come up, and we're seeing more all the time.
So do you envision those happening like before the next PIC meeting, or are they rolling? Are they rolling changes, or are you gonna come with like a massive amount of changes and then we have the PIC meeting?
That's a good question. We do have our Affordable Housing Committee, which I was going to report on under D on item 6. They will be meeting in early September, and they want to suggest some affordable housing regulations to kind of tie in with their your affordable housing plan, as well as the POCD. So they're coming up with regulations to kind of kick that off as far as affordable housing related items go.
So would that be at the PIC and then it comes to us?
That's,
I think we should discuss it at PIC before it comes here.
okay,
Yeah, because we want to
That
wet
could be
it
our
up.
first PIC meeting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, I mean, we can have PIC meeting, just have one item there, if that's what is being discussed.
And
Then-
then we want to sit down and figure out, are we meeting monthly? We'll be doing special meetings until the beginning of the year, and then we'll be setting a schedule. Do we want to do a monthly meeting? Do we want to do a bi-monthly meeting?
We did say it's an organic document, so we should
Correct.
make sure we have organic meetings.
We can do that.
Yeah. As it comes to, one of these agenda items brought up something that I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if it's during now or when we talk about minor modifications, but EV chargers, public versus private EV chargers.
Oh,
Can we change these?
that's on our
So
list.
okay, so it's on your list?
That's
okay.
on our
'Cause it-
list, because this was, in my opinion, not necessary.
So
This.
I
this
understand why we
particular-
did what we did with EV chargers, but I think it needs to be cleaned up.
Yes.
It just, these are for public. We were more concerned about public EV charging stations than private EV charging
So
stations.
what we should do is like maybe, when we have minor, major,
Yeah.
in that section, we
Yeah.
should add.
Yeah,
EV.
or whatever the cleanup
Well,
that we need
because,
for
because that was, because EV chargers were added to it was just blanket. An EV charger is a major change. And there's no room for interpretation there at all.
We need to interpret it.
Yep,
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right, you good? Good on that?
I think we're good.
Okay, 6A, Prague Regional.
There hasn't been a meeting since June, and the next meeting will be September 4th.
All right. Item 6B, zoning enforcement.
We're getting once again, we're still doing a lot of blight enforcement. We did have been having some sign issues, some non-permitted signage, and we're seeing them coming up with the feather signs and the advertising signs, the banners. As well as, we're getting a lot of complaints also of people parking on areas that typically aren't used for parking. People typically don't park on the lawn, but we have nothing that says you can't park on the lawn. So we're getting the neighborhood complaints about people doing things that others don't typically do, so.
All right.
So, we're also, in Community Development Services Department as a whole, we're looking at our town ordinance book, because there's a lot of things in there, like the sidewalks, once again. And we all sat down and we did tell our town manager that we're coming in with a variety of things, but he kind of wants them all at one time. So we're doing the sidewalks, we're doing the noise ordinance, we're doing a bunch of things.
So sidewalks for commercial, have a money put in and all
Yep.
that, okay.
So we have several we're looking at.
Alrighty, minor modifications,
No, none.
not affordable housing. We already
I
discussed.
just
Legislation.
told you.
They just
We're
ended.
still waiting to find out what's going to be happening with that House Bill 5002 concerning a lot of affordable housing issues, a lot of regulations and things that bill envisioned municipalities needing to do. The governor vetoed that, and we're waiting to see what the outcome is on that one.
So I think talking about that, maybe when, and again, we can discuss that at PIC, when the housing committee is coming up with their suggestion, I think we should also see if and when they're going to meet.
Yep.
And what else they're going to add or whatever. So we don't have to change again in like 6 months. Okay. Communications, we don't have any communications, no bills,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed,
Thank you.
motion passes. Thank you, Ron.
Good night, Ron.
Night, take care.